It's about that time. What's going on, everybody? James Wayne with Steer Your Mind, and welcome to another video. And in this video, I basically want to go over 2020. Yes, the new year, 2020, is here. And I want to wish you guys a happy New Year's to you and your family. And I hope you enjoy, and stay out of trouble. Don't get pulled over. Best advice you can have. But in this video, I want to go over with you guys your New Year's resolutions and broken promises. Because let's admit, and I'm a big contributor to this subject, but I find myself in the past making New Year's resolutions in the moment. When that ball drops and you're all drunk and you just, you're drunk and you're like, oh, I want to lose this weight and I want to stop drinking, I want to stop smoking cold turkey. Now, you say that in the moment, and this is where the problem comes. Because what a lot of people do, and I'm including myself in this too, is that we create these broken promises on New Year's. And we only make these promises in the moment instead of following through and making these promises or these goals a lifestyle. Like when some people, when they want to get married, they get caught up in the wedding part of it, the party part of it, instead of being a good husband or a good wife long term. Now, don't get caught up in the moment of just setting a half-ass New Year's resolution promise to yourself or goal to yourself. For your goal, for your promise to be significant and for it to be long term, you have to commit to those goals. And you can't just say in a moment you're going to do something and not do it. Now, this is the reason why that happens, and I know myself very well, and I can definitely speak from experience that what I would do is, well, I would have a lack of willpower. That's pretty much where that comes into play. I would have a lack of willpower and a lack of focus. And there was a year where I got overweight and I wanted to lose, all the weight. But that year I failed. I wanted to lose weight in 2011. I gained like 70 pounds, and I think I gained 70 pounds within 3 or 4 year span. And it came to me really quick. Like, I didn't really notice my weight gain until I had a few comments from a few people, just little comments like, big boy, and things like that. Like people throw things at you to hint that you need to lose weight. So that was kind of a motivator, kind of an eye opener, because being called big boy, I'm like, oh, I'm big now. Okay, so I got to do something about that. But yeah, like I would say, what helped me follow through on my goals and just focusing is just simply writing down on a piece of paper what you want, and just lock yourself in a room and write down what you want or visualize what you want and let that manifest. Because if you just say I want to lose weight, and then when January 1st comes around after that night of drink, you say, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that." But hungover you, a hungover you will wake up January 1st, and you got a headache, and you want to vomit, and you want to throw up because you've been sick, for drinking. And when you wake up, it hits you. You're like, "Oh, I made that promise last night that I would lose weight." And you're all hungover, and you're like, I don't feel like doing it now. Um, this is supposed to be the new year. This is supposed to be the new start, but you got hungover and you slacked off. Now, I'm not saying you can't make it up tomorrow, but if you want to start the new year out, you gotta push through. You chose to drink that much the night before. That was your choice. Now, when you made that goal to lose weight, you know that you have to bring that same energy the next day, and the next day after, and the next day after. Now, what most people do, and including myself, I'm talking to myself too, is that there's a lack of focus, there's a lack of motivation to complete that goal. Now, the key point to making 2020 your perfect vision, and having a perfect vision, is you have to focus. And I know that sounds simple, and it is simple. And most people, including myself in the past, I didn't focus. I just actually did what was comfortable for me. And I didn't really mention the whole story about the weight loss thing, but um, the following year, I did finally commit in 2012, New Year's, that I was going to lose 70 pounds. The 70 pounds that I gained all the way after high school. I started just gaining weight, just partying, and just eating crap, putting crap in my body for years. So yeah, like I would say, for me, it took me being sick and tired of huffing and puffing coming up the stairs. I was sick and tired of having acid reflux, you know, and it just reminded myself with these health problems that in high school I didn't have these health problems before. I was healthy, but now all that drinking, all that partying, you know, caught up. It manifested into me getting ulcers, or me getting acid reflux and things like that. And my digestive system was completely screwed. And I wasn't eating no fruits or vegetables. I was just partying and drinking, and you know just goofing off. And that's what led to the 70-pound weight gain. And when I finally was sick and tired, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna party, I'm not gonna do anything for a while, I'm just gonna focus on this. you know Moderation is key, though. Like, if you want to have a beer, have whatever, on a weekend, just, you can have it, but just know your limits. Everyone has a limit, so just know your limits. Don't let it get in the way of what you want to do and what you're focused on, which is losing weight. And when I was sick and tired, of just these health problems, I basically just said I had enough. I'm going to commit to working out 5 days a week, and I'm going to eat healthy. No questions asked. I'm not going to cheat. And I would say the first few months I didn't cheat, but then I started to cheat a little bit. When I started losing the weight, I started getting comfortable with cheating on my diet. I'll have just like one cheat day. One cheat day is enough. but yeah, that's what I did. I just got sick and tired, and like Tony Robbins says, you can be motivated by desperation or inspiration. So I felt that looking back at my high school years and looking at the pictures of me on the football team, I actually was like, you know what, this guy right here, you know, this guy with a flabby belly and flabby muscles, or flab, you know, everything is not everything is not ripped like it was before. Everything wasn't like, my biceps were soft. My had a lot of fat around the waist side, and my legs were getting bigger, and it just wasn't fun anymore. It just stopped being fun. To It stopped being fun eating out and everything. So when you reach that point where you look at the past, and you look at um, at how much you've fallen, like, that motivated me to look at my high school pictures and to see the size I was. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get back to that person. You know, that same guy is still here, but in another version, which is a much more worse version than myself. And yeah, I would say that when you get to that point, when you're sick and tired, that's your opportunity to just take the ball and run with it. Now, if you want to complete your goals and your New Year's resolutions, and you want to change your paradigm and change your thought process to complete that, well, pretty much you have that in you. You have the willpower to focus, and that's what we're here for. We actually are incredible creatures. We have the power to focus on something and have it attract to us, and we can do anything that we want in this body and on this planet. You just got to commit yourself. Let that repetition. If you want to quit smoking or quit drinking too, just ask yourself: is this cigarette or is this alcohol beverage stronger than me, or am I stronger than it? And when you can silently or out loud tell yourself that, your mind is going to get the picture. And like I mentioned in the other videos, where your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imaginary, well, you give yourself a promise, and you commit. Now, I'm just going to name a few steps here to accomplish whatever you want to accomplish that helps me. And one of those steps is just writing down what you want, looking at it every day, and it's going to come. Because when you look at something every day, just like how you focus on playing that video game or watching those shows that you see on TV, your willpower is geared towards those shows that you watch. So it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your lifestyle to tune in every Friday at 8 p.m. to watch Full House or whatever you want to watch. You know, so that show is a part of you. Now you're kind of a slave to it. Now I'm not bashing people that watch shows or things like that. I like watching shows and everything. I like the Fresh Prince and back in the day, and I like you know, some scary movies and things. I like a lot of action movies. I like to watch movies and shows, but what my point is, you don't want to make anything. You don't want to get attached to bad habits. So the best thing that you can do is, if you want to quit drinking, quit smoking, you have to change your habits. You have to not, you have to find the willpower to just not buy that alcohol beverage and that and those cigarettes. Like, you have to put yourself, you have to kind of give yourself a kind of scare yourself straight in a bit. Like, what helps me um basically is to, like, I go on YouTube videos if I want to cut down on anything, cut down on my eating habits. Like, if I know I'm eating too much greasy food or processed food, um, the the one thing I do, and it's terrifying, but the one thing I do is to scare myself straight. I go on YouTube. I will brainwash myself and scare myself with videos. Um, like videos of like, I would look up something like what would happen if you know what would happen if you eat too much of this food or that, or too much, um just putting too much chemicals in your body. Like, I would look up stuff where it's like, if you look at the back of food labels, there's what I scare myself with is those ingredients, those chemicals in the food. um Even though I would eat badly, I would eat very badly, subconsciously. I it's like, subconsciously, you don't think about how bad the food is. Your pleasure signals in your brain only care about eating that food. Like, you're not focused on how bad that food is. You only focus on the pleasure of that food, but not how bad it is. Now, for you to get scared straight, and this is not easy for most people to do, just go on YouTube or go on Google, if you want to lose weight, and just and, and look up all the health problems that come into play. Like, look at heart attacks. Look at problems with your blood flow. Problems with your lungs, your throat, your digestive system. Just look up what happens if I don't eat fruits or vegetables for whatever. Like, anything that's bad, you've been anything you've been doing, just scare yourself. It's the best solution that I can tell you, is to scare yourself straight. If you have some type of and you don't have to take this advice. This is not medical advice at all. Of course, go to your psychologist or psychiatrist to talk about these things before you take my advice. But um, what most psychologists or psychiatrists would do to have people get over an addiction like that, like there's people that have an addiction to cookies, or things like that, pizza, and people end up weighing like 600-700 pounds, things like that. Now they scared some of these doctors. They scare you straight by actually bringing in the amount of food, the amount of junk, the amount of cookies that you've been eating. They'll put it in like a bin, and they'll be like, this is how many cookies you eat a year, or this is how many you eat a week. And then you finally look at how much cookies or whatever you're eating to gain to weigh 500 pounds. You finally look at the bin, and you're like, damn, I've been eating these many cookies, and and when you look at it, when you realize that, you see, that's what you need. You need to actually face whatever you're going through. You need to bring it into your you need to bring it to your attention, so that you can realize, and be aware of what you're doing and what you're putting in your body. Because a lot of people, they like to avoid the criticism. They like to avoid the fact that they've been eating badly. So they don't look at the bad videos of what happens if you smoke, and they don't like to look at, you know, people's lungs being real black, you know. So if you smoke and your motivation is your motivation, like I said, scare yourself, but your motivation should be stemmed towards going away from that pain, that you know, coughing and all this other crap in your lungs. Like, your motivation is to get away from your lungs being black. Like, if you look at a YouTube video of blackened lungs and things like that, you know, and you realize that's what you've been doing to your lungs, you know, it's gonna scare you. It's gonna be like, oh wow, that's what my lungs look like. My lungs are black, really? And then you don't go back to it because you're disgusted. Now that's what I had to do. I know this video is long, but that's what I had to do. I had to be disgusted at what I've been putting in my body, and so that I could change. So I had to look at all the chemicals, all the foods with all the chemicals and all the hormones and all the crap in it. You know, I looked at those videos and I'm like, that's why I gained 60 or 70 pounds. That is why. Because the crap I'm putting in my body is, it's junk. It doesn't belong in your body. You know, it belongs in a garbage can. You know, all the chips, soda, all that crap. You know, if you try to lose weight, you know, look at what happens if you look at a video. What happens if you drink too much soda, or look at what happens if you eat too much chips. Just scare yourself like that. So I said the first one was developing willpower by writing your goals down, right? Like, write them down on a piece of paper and look at them a couple times a day, and just let God do His work. Let the manifestation begin. You know, but the the manifestation won't work if you're not consistent, you're not persistent, you're not doing anything on a constant basis. Like, think about it like this: a person that like, if you have a guy that's been that has never smoked crack or did any drugs, and he comes across somebody that says, oh, you know, take this hit, you know, you should try this, you know, and this is somebody that that's supposed to be your friend, that knows you, and they say, oh, try this, and then you finally try it, whatever. Now, when you try it once, now you're hooked. You're like, oh, I want more. Now, you know, now I want more. Like, that's what a paradigm does. Like, when you, now I'm sure that guy, you know, he didn't he didn't smoke crack before or did any drugs, but when you are introduced, my point is, when you are introduced to something new that becomes a new habit, then you're hooked. Then you become a slave to it, and it becomes a part of you. Now, do the same thing in a positive manner. Do the same exact thing in a positive manner, that the same thing that got you hooked, or even just anything that you've been doing in your life that like, all the things that we do in our life, we had to do them once at some point. Like, watching TV, you know, driving, walking, cooking, like anything that involves us, you know, taking action and actually doing things. We had to do those things, like cooking, walking, you know, watching TV, playing video games, going to work, you know, all that other stuff. going to work. It eventually, when you go to work every day, or you cook, you practice cooking, or you practice your workout, your push-ups, your sit-ups, you practice your yoga, or you practice smoking cigarettes, like I said, or you practice drinking. Now, you take your first drink of some beer at age 19 or whatever, at a young age. You take that first sip, you're like, this don't really taste that good. But when you start drinking it more and more, then you're like, oh, it's not bad. It's pretty good actually. I'm gonna have more of that. And then more and more. I'm not saying this is for everybody. I'm not saying this will happen for everybody, but certain people that get addicted to alcohol, they're going to want more and more of it 7 days a week, 24/7. They're going to want it all the time. And in this life, you don't want to be attached to something. Like, you don't want to be attached to those bad things, those bad habits. You got to break away from it. At some point, you have to break away from it, or it's going to break you. So 2020 is our perfect vision. I keep saying this, but it's true. 2020 is your perfect vision. So go out there, write down what you want. Write down what you want and look at it twice a day. When you wake up and when you go to sleep, look at it twice a day. Write down your goals, your dreams, anything that you want, your bucket list, anything. That's the first step. Now, the second thing is to have repetition, acquire that repetition, and practice what you preach. Keep practicing. Because in order for you to be a Christian, you got to practice Christianity. In order for you to be a Catholic, you have to practice that same thing. So it's like you have to practice. And the third thing is to not doubt your goals. And it's not to doubt yourself at all. Now, the way you do that is by simply making a decision. Make a decision that I am going to lose weight. You make that decision instead of saying I might lose weight or I could lose weight. The wanting to lose weight, when you make a decision, then, like, don't be afraid to make a decision and say I am going to do this. You make a decision first, say I'm going to do this. A certain part of your brain is going to accept it. It's going to be like, okay, he gave me a command, says I'm going to do this. So I'm going to your brain's going to find ways to make that happen. That's just how we are created. That's just how we are. Because think about it. When you say things like, I could lose weight, or I don't know if I can lose weight, then you gave yourself a command to not do it. Your brain's not going to follow up with losing weight because what you told yourself, what your self-talk told you was, your brain was like, we're not going to lose weight because you don't sound too sure, and the way you came across, you sound like you don't want to lose weight. So your brain is listening to you. Your brain is listening to what you're saying, and it's following suit just like that. But yeah, I know this video is a little longer. It's like going on 30 minutes, but it's very important I had to make it this long because I want this to sink in, and I want you to make 2020 your best year, and I will make 2020 my best year. So let's keep fighting. Let's get it. As simple as it's as simple as just getting it. You know, so yeah, there's nothing else to say now except I guess comment, like, and subscribe. Comment, like, and subscribe to the channel, and also share this video, share it around to your friends and family, whoever needs any type of motivation, any type of kick in the ass. You know, just have them look at this video, share it, and yeah, that's it right now. You know, I don't have nothing else to say. But yeah, just a reminder. Number one, write down what you want. Look at it twice when you wake up and when you go to sleep. 2, use repetition. Focus. Develop willpower. Get out of your comfort zone to develop willpower, and just do. And repetition is the mother of skill. That's what that's the quote right there. I don't know who said it, but I'll find out later. But repetition is the mother of skill. That's basically the truth. It is the mother of skill, because without repetition, there's basically no perfection. There is no excellence at anything without repetition. And the third thing is, you know, to basically make a decision. Don't say I can. I mean, don't say I don't say I could do this or I might do this. You know, your brain's gonna listen to you. It's listening, so you gotta pay attention to that. Your self-talk, you have to pay attention. You have to give yourself a definite and clear command. So that's it for this video, and take action. You know, don't, if you want to lose weight, you want to do anything, take action right away. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more you think about it, the more you think about the pain it's going to be to do that push-up or those sit-ups. The more you think about the pain, the more you're going to run away from it. So for you to actually take action, you can't think about it. You have to take action right away, because action cures fear. Action cures fear. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that, and enjoy your New Year's. Have fun. Be safe. Thanks for watching.